Spiritual Psychics TV is hosting the first annual recognition of achievements, acknowledging those who dedicate their lives to a spiritual act of kindness. Spiritual Psychics TV, bringing spiritual people together.
Hello everybody, I'm back. My first show of 2022. Have you missed me? I've been away a month. I think I was last on just for Christmas actually. So, hello, I'm Jane Morton. I am a psychic counsellor, a psychic sort of medium. I'm a healer, holistic therapist, and I do this show monthly live from SPTV. So, do you want me to do anything intro-wise, Mr. P? Or do you want just... Okay. Yeah. So, this show, if anyone's a regular, they know what it's about. But if you are new and tuning in, it is like asking me questions. It can be spiritual questions, general questions. I'll try and answer them if I can. The best questions, I'm not going to say it's a competition, the best questions, but ask a question. And then Mr. P will put the comment up and I can answer it and then do a reading. But it won't be just readings. It is for information, this show. This is about getting people talking about things. So please do that. And also, don't forget, we stream from Facebook and YouTube. So sometimes you might not see comments or wonder who we're talking to. It may be because they're on the other stream. And Facebook do not always see I can't remember now, Ms. P. They've changed a lot of regulations. So again, you may need to like and share to even be acknowledged. And that's not us saying that. That's just the way Facebook are now running the stream. So please do like and share, not just me, but obviously helps SPTV. So should we have some hellos? Hello, Kimbo. Still with us. Hello, lovely Terry. Hi, Claire Colbeck. Hello, Megan. Hi, Dawn. Hello, Millie B. Hi, Kelly Jane. There's a name. That's a good name, isn't it? Hi, Julie McCafferty. Hi, Teresa White. Good evening to you, Amy Curtis. Hello, Patricia Buckle. Is that Buckle? Yeah. I'm doing good for the names tonight. It's my New Year's resolution. I'm going to try and get these names right. Hi to Victoria Jane Palmer, another Jane. Hi, Ros Keane. Must be a New Year thing, Mr. P. I must have got, Hello, Ruth Townsend. Hi, Sasha Smasher. Hi, Sasha. Hello, Anne McLennan. Now that might have caught me out. McLennan. Hi, Colin Mitchum. Colleen. I was on a run. That's because you threw me off track. Hi, I'm going to say Maveen Peters. I'm just looking at myself thinking, this shirt was a bad choice with my background. Not a good idea. Too much pattern going on behind me, people. Hi, Michelle Roberts. And you've missed me. Well, I'm monthly now anyway. My show went monthly quite a while back, but it just feels like a long time, doesn't it? I was on what? Week before Christmas, I think. Hi, Joanne Lewis. Hello, lovely Alison. Hi, Tabish. Hi, Pamela. Hello, Melissa Hopkins. Hello, Betty. Now I've got this one. Bertha Board. Okay, hopefully it'll be a peaceful night because I haven't got the doggy. I've sent him off on a little holiday. Well, I sent him off because I've had no heating here for God knows how long. I've got heating now and I've washed people, so don't get too but he's just been really stressed. I've sent it to my mum so that I can have a peaceful show, and I'm back to work tomorrow anyway at the hospital, so I thought I'd have a break. So yeah, that's what I've done. And I sound a bit croaky because I've been so cold here. Anyone think I was living in the Antarctic? I think we've done Vicky, haven't we? Vicky Jane Moore? Maybe not. Hi, Vicky. Sorry. Lots of Janes coming out tonight. Hi, Jackie Spenlove. Hello, Auntie Patricia. Hello, Wendy Gawley. Hello, Nicholas Saw. Loving the background. I love the background. I love the shirt, but I don't think they both go together, do they? Hi, Emma Adams. Oh, what a clicking in my ear, Mr. Producer. What are you up to? Terry said her eldest just said Jane was right when she called Alison Barton lovely. Too cute. Yeah. Has she met her in person, though, Terry? Sorry, Alison. Because I can say that. Hi, Julie Rampton. Anyway, who missed our show last week? Was it last week? Last Saturday? Oh, you don't know. I'll see you moonlighting somewhere else because me and Polly and Kate weren't available. Hi, Susan. Good evening to you. Evening to you, Gal. It's all gone quiet. Yeah, well, how did you end up there then, Mr. P? I know. I'll see it come up. I thought, Evie, don't move about. One show gets cancelled, he's straight in putting on another one. Hi, Tookie Green. Lovely to see you too. Hi, Jade Fleming. So was it a good night? Did you stay all night? Hi, AJ. All right, then. Hi, Donna for Pennsylvania. And it's cold, yeah. Is it March the 30th? I've got an announcement. It's an exclusive announcement, people. I'll get to do this show in a minute. On March the 13th, we have a VIP. Oh, we have a VIP in-person trance evening with Polly. And where is this? In Portsmouth. Okay. Well, I'll be there. Hi, Christine. That'd be good. And anyone else that's seen Polly do her trance, it is amazing. So obviously it's more amazing when you're sat there in person watching her. Hi, Bren. Okay, so you're going to allow people to be part of an audience, live audience or just an audience? On a live audience and Zoom, and people will be able to ask Polly questions while she's in trance. And anyone that's seen Polly in trance, it's not obviously, I'm not going to spoil it. You can wait and see who she is. Oh, Jackie, you gave me a lovely reading a couple of months ago after my daughter lost her dad. It was very comforting to her. Thank you, Jane. Oh, thank you, Jackie. It's been a tough few years, hasn't it, for lots of people. I haven't started my new year as well as I would like. I've got a friend of mine has passed last week, and it's her funeral tomorrow, and she is out in Florida, so I'm unable to even be with her family. Majority of her family is still in England, but yeah, it's very sad, and it is. But I'm glad that she took comfort from that, and I'm glad that you did as well. Now, Richard, you have stumped me on this one. I'm going to get this. Hello, Violetta. Hope that's Violetta. I think he does it on purpose. He does it on purpose because he knows I'm terrible. I'm terrible pronouncing names unless they're really easy. So let's have some questions, Mr. P, before I go really croaky. Hello, lovely Nikki. So Nikki's saying, I think I've read for Nikki, haven't I? For 2 days, I've seen the number 777 and have been told it's supposed to mean angel numbers or lucky numbers. Can you explain, please? And thank you. So lots of people, a lot of these numbers are more around numerology. And I've got the Mr. Producer is in my ears now like a little 2-year-old. Now pack it in and let me talk. You produce, I host. So lots of people who think this is more connected to numerology, and although I'm fascinated with numerology, it's not something I've actually studied, and I haven't had the time to either. So sometimes you've just got to concentrate on what your strengths are. And lots of people straight away connect numbers to angel. They always call them angel numbers. I don't know if it's because it sounds nice. Could well be, but all numbers that are duplicated are classed as lucky. They are power numbers. They are numbers that mean it's no different really from the tarot cards. They are numbered 1 to 10, and each set on the tarot card is a journey. You start at 1, you finish at 10. It's a completion. It's always a circle. You start and you complete. That is what life's always been about. So the numbers do, especially if they're double numbers, obviously that's a 777, but lots of people see 1111, 2222. I've actually been getting 2222. You could look at your clock, your digital clock, those numbers could be on there. So I don't think you're going to get 777 on your clock though, Nikki, unfortunately. But the lower numbers you obviously know you can see are that way. So they do have a meaning, and they are trying to give you a message of, telling you what's happening in your life at the moment, or the way you're heading forward. So Mr. P is jumping up and down, saying he knows what it means. You know what it means as an angel number, I'm assuming. Have you got the answer? Yeah. So what does it mean as an angel number, Mr. P? Oh, water. Lovely water. So yeah, Richard just said it means blessings. I forgot you were ruffled on so much. But the thing is, if you actually look up all these numbers, whether it was 111, 222, 333, or whether it was 22, 33, 44, double, treble, they all have similar meanings. They are all basically meaning that life is good. They will always have a similarity around them because they're angel numbers, if that's what you're looking at them as, and you're looking, for some positivity. So they're numbers connected with the angels that are making you feel that you're on the right track or to stay positive about things. I have never seen any of those numbers associated, when they're classed as angel numbers, with any kind of bad luck. They are all to do with positivity, and as Richard said, blessings, good luck, abundance. They all pretty much, and I expect you're all out there now Googling it, aren't you, to see if I'm right, but you will not see a bad number. So yes, they're all positive. But then, as I've always said, with my work, I look at everything I do as a positive, even when there's stuff going on, and the cards, when I read the cards, they're not always, there's not always great things in there. I still see as a positivity to it all. So it's how we assess and how we look at things in general. I've always been a half full sort of person. I never am a half empty glass. There's got to be positivity in everything that happens to us, even when there's been sad things, because that's how we need to progress. So Nikki's saying, yes, you read for me and my sisters for you are brilliant. Thank you, Nikki. I feel a bit rusty. I've got to be honest today. I think it's because it's been with Christmas and you seem to be out of sorts. I took a couple of weeks off because I just needed a break in general, reading and doing psychic counselling on top of my other therapies, and my job at the local hospital can get a little bit draining at times, and I just wanted to recharge myself this year. And obviously, like I said, I did start with a little bit of a bad start, losing my friend. So yeah, but thank you, Nikki. But I hope that sort of makes sense. But numerology is where those numbers mean the most. And Walter, who Richard mentioned, he used to be on the show, I think, back last year, early part of last year. Could have been a bit later. I know he's been out in South Africa for some time now. He used to do numerology and all sorts of astrology and numbers. And Richard said he actually got 777. I remember when I met Walter in person at a fair many years ago. We both worked at fairs. I picked it. He asked me to pick a number. I, for some reason, picked 333. And that, again, although it was all positive, it was because it was a lower number. He told me I was starting on a journey and I had to start accepting what I could do, and acknowledging that one of my strongest abilities was healing, and that I had to open up. And the next time I got 666. I don't know if I was thinking of Damien from The Omen. But it showed I was moving forward on my journey. So whether it's linked to angel numbers or not, it's always positive. So always see it as a positive sign. Sometimes maybe it's a reminder that you need to, I don't know, just remind yourself that things are not always that bad. Maybe they come up when you're feeling a bit low, or you've just had, a bit of an off day. Maybe that's what the numbers are there for. So I hope that helps, Nikki. I'm going to pull you a quick card. And I've just got you balance, number 11. On the screen, Mr. P. Come on, Mr. So, Nikki, balance, lovely card. And guess what? It's not got 77 on it. It's got 11 on it, though. It is number 11, 11. And again, if you look at that, balance is about balancing ourselves out, being on the right track. He's the angels, when we have pulled a card with angel wings. He's got the wings behind him. He's got all the tools in place. But the body needs to be balanced. We need to have our male and female energy balanced to be able to deal with our everyday lives and to deal with things in a much calmer and safer and in my case, spiritual way. But the one together is the balance. It's putting it together. So what? I'll go on then. So there's my point. So Rich has just said 1 in angel readings means new opportunities. And so it's what I said, all angel numbers, if you link them to angel numbers, will always be positive. They will always have the similar word. Abundance appears in most of them. I mean, abundance appears in a lot of the tarot cards. When you work spiritually, whatever it is that you use as your tool, as I've always called it, you will find there's always links still. There's massive links to everything else. And the word abundance, the word blessings, the word balance, these are words that come up a lot, and positivity, because that's what we are trying to, not promote. We're not a company of promote. Well, we are a live stream, but it's what we're trying to get out there to let people know that this journey that we're all on, wherever you are on it, is actually about being positive, and it's actually about embracing being in this life and trying not to always feel negative about things. But Nikki, I did also get there that since I read for you sometime, you and your family last year, and a lot had gone on, I do feel at the moment things have improved. There's a lot more calm going around, but I'm just feeling that I feel like someone's, like a roulette table, someone span it, and it went you sort of got off and felt like the old roundabouts. I'm showing my age now. So there's something a little bit at the moment you could do of taking a step back from family-wise and just actually regaining your grounding and getting your balance back in life. So I hope that makes sense to you, Nikki. What else have we got, Mr. P? Dun, dun, dun. Hi, Sandra Martin. Hi, Kelly McKeaton. Big love back to you. Hello, Christina Kimball. Hello, is Dorian, is that obviously Dorian, my twin flame or soulmate? Oh, you know I don't like these ones, Mr. P. It's all, yeah, it is all open. So, Christina, so anyone that doesn't know me or haven't had to watch me, I can be a little bit direct. I'm never offensive, and I don't intend to offend. And I'm also quite diplomatic in when I say things to people on a live. This is a live forum, remember. And although people ask questions and think they don't care, this, whoever's watching this goes out. And there's continued watching on videos. You know, people can watch these on YouTube time after time after time if they can bear keep looking at me. But yeah, so I am mindful of that. But Christina, twin flame or soulmate, they're two different things. In my eyes, they're two different things. Other people may say different. We have many soulmates in our life, many. They can be our family, our friends, and they can be partners, relationships in our life, romantic relationships. But soulmates are people that have come in at stages of our life to help us at certain times in our life, and that we've gelled and worked well together. A twin flame is different. A twin flame is almost like, well, it's the word twin. It is the other side of us. And sometimes they're not identical to us. It literally is just the other side of us. And they work well because it's like the yin and yang. And like I said earlier, the male and the female energy, it's the balance that we get back. It can be very passionate, but it can also be very soulful because you are joined. It's like you're united back together again. Many people believe if their twin flames, when they've done regression work, that they've actually had their twin flame with them in every past life that they've had. And again, not everyone believes in past lives, but if you're practicing in your spirituality and, you know, going down this path, you have to be open to quite a few things. So people could have, you know, feel that their twin flame has been in their life and all their previous lives. And again, not as their partner. It could just be somebody that was there in their life and there was a really strong connection, and that's why they keep coming through in life after life after life. So your question, whether that's your twin flame or soulmate, to me, because they're not the same, I'm going to throw the onus back on you, and this isn't me sort of getting out of it. It's more, what is it you want them to be? A soulmate can be someone that can be with you forever and be someone you can massively rely on and always go to. But do you want this person to be your literally twin flame, the person that brings passion, the person that lights you up, the person that makes you feel whole? Because that's what a twin flame is. It's the person that makes you feel whole, truly whole. And yet again, I don't know if I've met my twin flame. I'm going to be honest. I've tried 2 husbands out. I don't think I have. But and I'm not looking for number 3, people. And it's all right if the husbands are watching. I doubt they are, though. But yeah, I think that, again, I've learned as I've got older and as I've gone through many traumas, I don't need the twin flame or the soulmate, because it's about accepting yourself. It's about liking yourself. It's about trusting yourself, and it's about being true to who you are. And once you've done that, the life you lead gives you much more different opportunity, and not just with relationships in general. You feel more fulfilled when you are accepting yourself and you actually self-love. So I'm going to pick your card to see what happens. I don't know if I'm saying their name right. I want to say it's Dorian. Yeah. Let's see what I get from the card. Oh, I've got number 3, solar plexus. Which again, anyone that works with chakras, I obviously work with chakras as well. Our solar plexus sits right under our rib cage. Psychics and mediums, we use it as our rechanneling. Once we've aligned our chakras and obviously built up our energy, that is what we keep going back to sort of keep our energy flowing. It's where all our love flows. Although the heart chakra is more for the healing, it's a massive chakra. It holds everything. It's literally like opening up your stomach and the sun bursting out of it, which obviously is why it's that yellow, lovely warm yellow color, daytime sun. For me, it's about trusting your gut instinct. It's about trusting what you believe inside, And I think for you with this person, you need to actually acknowledge what that person is bringing to you, because I'm getting a feeling that there's a reliant going on there. I feel that there's a connection. I'm getting that from the, just even, not just picking the card up, but what I'm picking up. You've got a connection with this person, a very strong connection, but you don't be overclouded, or, don't let it cloud your judgment on what that connection is and why they're in your life at the moment. So I want you to strip that back a bit and go back with your gut instinct. We hold all our love in the solar plexus as well. That's where we get lots of energy, good feelings and good times. So take it back, strip it back, and just enjoy when you're with this person. Don't label them. Don't call them a twin flame. Don't call them a soulmate. Enjoy the time you've got, what you're having with this person. Enjoy it and don't overthink it. Because when we start labeling people, that's when it gets clouded. They're not here to make us feel better. That's what we're here for. So I hope that makes sense, Christina. And if I copped out of that one, I'm sorry. But that, and some people may disagree on the twin flame and soulmate, but from anything that I've done in training, in workshops, when I've covered different areas, when I've learned ascension and things like that, that is the perception I've got of it. And, like I said, I've met many soulmates in my lifetime. I'm still not 100% sure I've met my twin flame. I would have met them in a previous life, and I know they're there in my ascended circle. But again, ascension's a little bit of a different subject. But whether I've met them in this particular lifetime I'm in now, I'm not sure. So hope that helps. Hello, Mary from Tennessee. Hello, my lovely Kaylee. Hello, Tyrone. Oh, we're keeping you up. We're keeping you up. Julie, what does my near future hold for me, please? Okay. Patricia Buckle, if you're still watching, Richard said to let you know we have seen your message. We're going to do it nearer the end because it's quite an in-depth one. So we have seen it and we will be answering it. I haven't seen it actually, but Mr. P has. So Patricia, stay on and we will answer that one nearer to the end. But Julie, what does your future hold? I feel like I need to go over and get my crystal ball off the shelf and to go, oh. And I'm sorry, I'm not. Yeah, wow. Someone asked me the other day if I'd get my crystal ball out because I've been doing my one-to-one workshops. They said, oh, can't we do the crystal ball? And I went, no, because it's my crystal ball. You're not touching it. And that's how I feel about my crystal ball, people. No one touches it. But it is, what does my near future hold for me, please? I do feel sometimes when I hear questions like that, it's like I've gone down the fair, I've put my scarf around me and I've sat there with, the old Tom Hanks film with the machine, the magician bloke things in there, and they put a dime in or whatever. But anyway, I've got patience and planning for you, number 7. Okay. And obviously the first word is quite key to that, patience. I had a discussion with someone today about your future, not your future, Julie, obviously. I wasn't discussing you. But people always want to know their future. And it's sometimes I think, why? Why do you want to know your future? I get if you're going for a new job or anything like that, you want to know if you're making right decisions. So the foreseeable, literally like the here and now and what's going to happen in the foreseeable, yes, but I never think we should plan our futures too much. I've got a woman. Now, again, I don't normally do mediumship, but a woman's come in, and when I turned to patience and planning and got patience is actually what you need for your future. You need patience. The woman's voice sounded, it was like, oh, Why here she goes again? That's how I felt it was saying. Here she goes again. Why is she so impatient? I don't know if that's going to make any sense to you, Julian, who it is. And I'm trying to see. I've got a bit of a weird name going on. I have got the name Beryl in my head, but I don't think it's this woman. I think it's somebody else. But I feel like that's what they're saying. Why? Here she goes again. Why is she so impatient? So let me know if that makes sense. I feel like you at the moment, it could be bright sunshine outside, but you'll only see rain. I don't feel that you're seeing what's right in front of your nose. And like I said, I don't mean this in a derogative way, but I'm just wondering whether you're not seeing the clearer picture at the moment, what is actually going on with you. I do feel there's been some something around a building. I'm getting that there's some sort of plans been around a building. I don't know if that's a move, a work move, or a house move. It's almost like work and house are interlinked, actually. So I don't know if you work from home, but I do. There's things that I feel like, you like everyone. We get up in January. Oh, let's decorate. Or oh, let's do this, or let's do that. People try and make plans in January because it's the most longest, boring, and sometimes depressing month because we've had Christmas and then everyone's a bit flat. So I feel like there's some plans that have been made, but they're only because it's January and let's think of something to do. So I'm going to say for you, with your future, and let me know if this woman, if that sort of sentence, because I'm getting a smell with her and I can't. It's some kind of floral, old-fashioned floral smell I've just picked up from her. I'm not getting that very strong. Obviously, I am more a psychic than I am a medium. I don't big myself up. Yes, I can do mediumship, but I don't do it as strong as others. So I wasn't expecting her to come in, but I need to know if that makes sense to you. So my answer to you is your near future, don't over-plan it. Don't overthink it. Don't rush into something. And if you have been looking at some kind of move, whether it's work or home, or whether you actually work in your home, because that's what I seem to be going nearer to, just don't rush into anything. I want to say, actually, for January, just sit January out, because I've got something going on between the 1st and 5th of February for you. I've just got those dates for you as well. So let me know, Julie, if that makes any sense. All gone quiet on the chat. If you could give us feedback, not that I can see it because Mr. Producer obviously controls it, but it helps us to know that you're still on. I don't waffle on because he will tell me off if I waffle on. And obviously it helps. And I do get told off a lot, but I do ignore him. And then he just cuts me off. So there. But yeah, just please give feedback because it does help us. It also obviously keeps it flowing. It makes me feel like I'm not talking to myself. And also, if anyone else is watching, they can see that we are interacting as well. So hope that makes sense. Hi, Jeanette. And also, just quickly, Julie, we don't have to get some weird names for us mediums when we do it. There's a Sid or a Sydney's just come in as well. It may not be for you. Like I said, my medium's not strong. It could be somebody that's watching. So if anyone can take them names, let me know what they're trying to. And I've got smell of smuts. You know when someone's digging up like an allotment, or and it's like earthy, but like vegetable earthy. Do you know what I mean? I'm getting that smell, not normal mud. I'm literally smelling like someone's on an allotment, and you've got that earthy vegetable smell. So yeah, let me know if that makes sense, people, because it's not to me, and I don't live on an allotment. I don't think I do anyway. Hi, Janet. Hi to Zoe Brown. Sally Worker, hello. Is that your comment? The comments are not coming in again. Hi, Jade McKinley. Hello, Sandra. I am curious what my husband is to me. Karmic, soulmate, or twin flame? What he is to you? Your husband, I was going to say. But but so similar to the question that was asked just now about the twin flame and soulmate. What you're curious what he is to you? How can I say this with? So your husband, in the reality of it, is your husband. You've chosen him to be a partner. You've, for whatever reason, you've chosen him and he's chose you. You have gone into a partnership by marrying. If you are on a journey, or if you have spiritual, you're awakening in a spiritual way, there would have been an element that you would have felt connected to him for whatever reason. Karmic is a very strange word, because people use karma in the wrong way anyway, in the wrong sort of sentiment. And sometimes people think karmic and karma is you're getting your just desserts, and I don't know if that's how I'd describe having a husband or a partner, despite the fact I did say I've had two. And again, soulmate and twin flame, it's something that you would know of your connection. As I said earlier to the other lady, soulmates come and go. We can have many, and we can have soulmates. Obviously, I would say both my husbands were soulmates at the time, because we had connected for whatever reason, and I had a relationship. So if there's a stronger connection, a feeling of knowing that you have been with him somewhere else at a different time, that feeling, when you meet someone, you think you knew him, or they're just so familiar, that tells me there is more of a connection towards a twin flame. You're leading towards soulmate. I've picked a card for you, and it's number 8, trapped in fear. Now that, to me, isn't I mean, straight away someone look at that and go, oh God, trapped in fear, behind bars. People would associate, some people would associate their marriages like that. That is not the case. When you mentioned the word karmic, I was feeling like I was going back in time a little bit. I do feel that you two have been connected somewhere else. But again, would that be a twin flame? I'm not 100% sure. I don't do regression work. I have been regressed. I do get a feeling when I feel someone's been around before. But I feel that there is a karmic situation where you two may have been in a previous time, and it is going back, I'm going to say, some centuries. So that's being quite big about that. So yes, you may feel a soulmate, and that would be because you've been connected somewhere along the line as well. But I don't know, because I am feeling you two have met in a previous life. So it could be a karmic situation that's come back, or it could be twin flame. I'm not 100% sure it's soulmate. I think it could be somewhere on the other. And the other thing that people do get held up on with marriages, and again, I'm not going to say it to anyone that's happily married at the moment, but things, as I said earlier, we start at a beginning, we end. There's always a cycle. Lots of people are very lucky; they stay married, or they could be unlucky. They stay married for many, many years. I'm not selling it, am I? Don't ever come to me for marriage. Don't ever come to me for marriage guidance, people. Actually, I've been quite good at it. But some people work really hard to stay in those marriages, and they're not always perfect. I think people put an ideal on a relationship that it's got to stay happy ever after. It's got to stay perfect. Everything's got to go right, and they literally adore you and love you to the day you die. That's not true. It's like any foundation. You've got to work on it. You start at the beginning. You build the roots yourself. You build the foundations yourself, and you've got to keep building on it. If it starts crumbling, that's because one of you is not doing what they should be doing, or you're pulling away and the building starts crumbling. So that's the same as marriage. So it's not an easy ride. It's not something that people do and go. People do it all the time, but you need to work at it, and that is more where the twin flame would sit in, because the twin flame would, through thick or thin, whatever happens, you would be connected and pulled back together. Where a soulmate, you would, at that time when it's going, wow, that'd be great, but when it's time for them to leave, that's when, whether people know whether they're in the right relationship or it is time. And it is sad when relationships end, but there are other things happening, so that when things end, there are new beginnings. It's there, the feeling, but it feels like we are more friends than husband and wife. If you're a twin flame, see, again, that trapped in fear, I said it was karmic, it was centuries back. If it's coming back in this, and I'm not saying you're in a relationship in fear, but if you're going down a route where you feel it's more friends than husband and wife, that trapped in fear is sometimes what you're putting around you, because you're overlooking at your situation. You're thinking more, we're more like brother and sister, we're more like friends, we're not husband and wife. There's nothing wrong with that, actually, in a marriage, because, like I said, it is not Romeo and Juliet, and it's not roses all the time. It is something you've got to work at, and there will be times that they will be more like your friend, because they are meant to be your best friend. They're the one that's there with you, that you can rely on. But we do, as humans, let each other down. No one is perfect. So she says she agrees with that 100%. I'd say, Sandra, the feeling I'm getting when I look at the card, the feeling I'm getting from the question, for now, enjoy the relationship you have. When I do card readings for people, obviously love affairs, people's love lives, their partners are one of the biggest things that come up in readings. That's usually why someone comes and sits in front of us. They want to know if they're going to stay in a relationship. They usually know what they're going to do anyway before they come to us, but they want someone to tell them for you. And I always say, in your gut what is wrong or what is going wrong. You don't need really to come and sit with someone like me to tell you, yes, leave them, don't, or things like that. So for me, don't overthink what's going on in your situation at the moment. If you're enjoying that period, enjoy it. If you are feeling trapped, like the card said, then re-look at your situation. But I do think that's also something that's come back from centuries. I think you two have been linked together before. So I hope that makes sense, Sandra. And best of luck to you. It's time. Hi, Joanne. Hello, Stace. Hello, Tina. Hello, Marco. Hi, little doggy. Love and light to you. Carol Ripple Stitch Wilkins. There's a mouthful, Carol. Especially when I've not got my teeth in. You had an uncle called Sid. Okay, lovely. To be fair, I expect there's a lot of people have got some connection to a Sydney, or a Beryl that I brought in. I just want to know if it was Julie, because it came out around Julie. But thank you for letting me know that, Carol. Kimbo, question: Would you say cards, crystals, etc., are a crutch to mediumship? Well, I wouldn't say it's a crutch, Kim. It is funny though, because you still question things even when you're working. I used to do this quietly. I used to do this without being paid for it. I mean, obviously I do this show without being paid for it, but I never worked as an aim to make money. I watched a weird thing today that said, I think it was a bit of a Mickey take on it was Afterlife. This is the series 3 of Afterlife, and they've got a medium in it, and they were saying that obviously none of it's true, because if it was true, we'd all be winning the lottery and getting the numbers. We know when we work in this field, we are not here to gain. We obviously have to earn money from it. It's because it's a living we've chose to do, but we're never going to make loads of money. We're not going to win the lottery, because if we were all doing that, there'd be nothing left for anyone else. So mediumship to me is a little bit different to the psychic side. But when I was working with my lovely lady I've been working with, it's actually, bless her, she's absolutely enjoyed her workshop. There are times that I question, what is the difference between a psychic and a medium? A psychic, yes, uses their intuition. They can tune into their sixth senses. They pick up different things, where mediumship is as clear as it says, we talk to spirit. But are the two connected? So crystals, I don't know a medium. I mean, I've got a crystal in front of me. Sometimes I hold it, but is that because it just makes me feel comfortable while I'm on air? I know when I've been watched Polly platform, she holds crystal in her hands before she gets up. I've watched other people do other rituals. It's not what I'd say is a crutch. It's what you're drawn to. Some people don't even like crystals. I'd find that a bit mad in this sort of world, but not everyone would pick crystals. Not everyone touches tarot cards. Not everyone has a crystal ball. I mean, tea leaves. I read tea leaves, but not everyone's going to sit there, because everyone drinks instant coffee from Starbucks and Costas now, so they don't want tea leaves, do they? Putting me right out of business. But it's not a crutch, because to me, mediumship it takes a lot more preparation. It's got to be, you've got to be committed to when you're going to go and give that spiritual connection, especially if you're on platform, because there's going to be a lot of people there watching you. It can be draining if you don't do it properly, and you can misinterpret the messages. Like I said, I haven't connected for mediumship tonight, and I'm only getting intermittent messages. It's a commitment, and it takes a lot more practice to do. Where crystals are used around, the crystal ball, it's like scrying. It's a way of scrying. So cards, it's a tool. I can read the tarot card, it comes quite naturally to me. But that said, I don't need the cards. If someone's sat in front of me, I can actually read the person. But it takes, I think sometimes people like something in front of them. So if someone come to see me and I just sat and read them, I think they'd be looking to see what I'd have on the table. I think people like to see a tool on the table, or they like to see the cards, on there, because if they've picked a tarot reader, it's because they probably want to see the tarot cards. If they've picked a crystal ball, they want to see the crystal ball. So it isn't a crutch, it's a tool. I call it tools. They're all tools to help us use our psychic abilities. But in mediumship, I haven't seen anyone look into a crystal ball, read tarots, and do a direct mediumship. Yes, spirit come in if you can do both when you're doing that. But if you're a medium, you would just stand up or sit in front of your client and bring in spirit. And I think some of the people on these shows, Matt and Kirsty, Polly, Bill, Deb, they all show that they just sit and connect to spirit. They do not have any tools in front of them. So I hope that helps, Kim. Is it what you feel that helps you give readings? Am I reading that? Is it what you feel that helps you? So what we feel. Yeah. So for me, I think it's really hard, and I think this is why there's still a bad press for people that can do readings, however they do them. People straight away still give that link. I mean, only just recently, more people who I work with at the hospital are now aware of what I do in my other job. And some people do find it a little bit strange. Other people find it exciting. So it is weird because people have that perception that we're either making it up or it's our opinion. And I'm not going to lie, there will be people out there that are making it up, and it is their opinion, or their opinion of a situation that may have happened to them has overrode the reading, and that's come out instead of for the good of the person. But a true person, a person that's working with good intent for that person that's come to them, will be picking up that person in front of them. They will be understanding and feeling, especially if you work empathically. Obviously, I heal. As you know, I'm a teacher and practitioner in healing, so I can feel people's feelings. Even before they've sat in my chair, I've started to get a feeling of what's going on with them. So I'm picking up their feelings. And also because we prepare ourselves, and get ourselves ready for our clients, for our sitters, we shouldn't be in a zone where we've got, for instance, if I'd had a bad day or something terrible had happened in my life, I would cancel my readings. It might be disappointing to my clients, but I would not read for them if I was not 100% in my own person, clear in my head. If I'm in a personal space, it would not be fair, and I certainly wouldn't heal for anybody if I was like that as well. Because obviously that's a hands-on technique anyway. So, we have to clear our headspace to do this. But even before I came on tonight, and I do this every time I'm on live SPTV, I will clear my headspace to come and do this show. I've told my colleagues in work when they go, can you see anyone around us? I mean, I work in a hospital. You can imagine how many people I see around me. I shut myself down when I go in my day job because, it wouldn't be right for me to be walking around having all the spirits and stuff and sensing people that may pass. It's not what I want to do in my day job. So I have to have clear boundaries, and it's like anything we do in life. You find your boundaries and you keep them clear. So I hope that makes sense, Kim. I'd like to think I read the person, and I'm reading the person, for their good intent. And but even these shows, I can't see you all, but I'm obviously reading your comments, and I'm trying to connect to you, and I'm trying to do it that way. And we have proved time and time again that it can still be done through the internet and through technology. You haven't always got to be with the person. But obviously, I'm still old-fashioned. I do like the face-to-face thing. Quick card for you, Kim. Emotional withdrawal, number 8. For me, still, you're not getting where, and obviously I'm not going to teach you to suck eggs, and I'm not going to repeat myself. I know, Kim, you've been watching the shows, and I've been in Zoom with you before. I know your situation. I've said this before. I know you want to get back home. I look at that. Obviously, it just seems further and further away for you. I know that. But again, when I look at that, I'm seeing that beach. I'm seeing that homeland for you. And I think I said this to you recently. I might have been on the last show. I want you to try and re-look at how you're looking at getting back home, because I think there's another avenue you need to take. So that emotional withdrawal, you've been withdrawn, you've been away from your family home too long. So I'm not going to say any more than that, because obviously I know your situation. But Kim, look at ways to get around all this red tape that's stopping you get back home to your wife. Okay. And much love to you, Kim. We're going to do some adverts, apparently, because Mr. P wants a break from me. I'm joking, Mr. P. I'm joking. Not that one. It's Wednesday. It's always Wednesday after I've been on Tuesday. Should we swap roles? Especially as do you want to do your unicorn readings, and I'll go and do the camera? Yeah, they might get more sense. Oh, so we've got tomorrow night. So it's not Live with Spirit. Or is it Live with Spirit? So it's Live with Spirit tomorrow night, 8 p.m. UK time, and it's with Deborah King, who's a spiritual artist. Oh, we've got a special announcement for a new show starting this Friday, again, 8 p.m. UK time. And it's with the lovely Marcus and Debs, Images of Spirit. Is that what it's called? Oh, I used to do that. That's good. Yeah. Oh, that'd be fun. So, yeah. I've just said that. Oh, yeah, sorry. So Images of Spirit, that's because I'm talking to you, not them. So Images of Spirit is where you send in your photographs of your loved ones, and they will tune into them and give you some answers and feedback, I suppose. I did that for a woman once for her cat. It's amazing what you can do. And in advance notice, we have got our very own first psychic, spiritual, mind, body and spirit fair coming up, haven't we? June the 11th. So make sure you come down to that. Obviously, not everyone can do that, especially if you're in another country. But it is in Waterlooville Community Centre, June the 11th. It's got the lovely Polly Harnett. Bill Hughes is coming down to see us. Matt and Kirsty are coming down to see us. I do believe I'm attending myself. It's going to be fun. So, yes, come down there. And then in the evening, it's doors open 6:30 for a great show of mediumship with those lovely people. Do I get a free ticket? if I hold their handbags. Oh, so mean. Oh, right, I was only joking. Such a meanie, Mr. P. What if I stay there after I've had my stool and hide under the table? But it wouldn't work anyway. Can you see me trying to hide under a table with my leg? I don't think that's going to work, do you? Hi, Lisa. Thanks for joining us. Hello, lovely Heidi. I've found any of my boundaries. Have I found any of my... I doubt it, Heidi. No, I can't... Have I found my teeth yet? No, Heidi, I haven't. Right, Stace. Question for Jack. Well, of course it's for me, Stace. There's no one else here. Don't talk to Mr. P. He's night off. Sometimes lately I struggle to tell the difference between my gut intuition and my anxiety. Any advice, as it's making me doubt myself with people and situations? Whew. How can you tell the difference? Your gut intuition is quite strong. When we have a gut intuition, it's quite strong. We might not like the intuition we're getting. It might not be the answer we want, but the gut, when we know something's not right about something, our gut is usually, it's on point. It's key. Our anxiety plays a different part, because if I relied on my gut intuition while I'm reading, while I'm working, in general, if I just, while I'm in my spiritual mode and I rely on my gut intuition, I'd like to think it's on point, that I'm trusting it, and that everything I'm doing is right. Because if I wasn't trusting it, one, I shouldn't be here now on this show. Two, I shouldn't have clients come to see me, and I shouldn't be taking bookings. That's how I look at my gut. I trust my gut 100% when I'm working like this. When my anxiety kicks in, and yes, I admitted it before, I think when I did this brunch with you, Stace, that I have suffered with mental health after my accident back in 2020. I never thought it was anxiety until it hit me. But when my anxiety kicked in, things didn't seem, they weren't right, is the way I'm going to put it. Nothing was in the right context. I always say overthinking things or being oversensitive to things, but my eldest son reminded me a little while ago that saying the words overthinking and oversensitive is actually makes people feel oversensitive and overthinking. And when I thought about it afterwards, I thought he's right. It's a way we talk. It is just the way we talk, and maybe we don't realise how it sounds when we say it. So for me, when you're anxious, everything seems more highly charged. Energy seems more highly charged. Things are not clear in our heads. So the smallest of things seem so big, and things can't seem to feel, they don't feel calm. And then there's a pacing in your heart or in your head. My classic is if I lay down, I can actually hear my heart beating in my head. So I know that I'm anxious, or I'm not in my full sort of calm mode. So that's, for me, is the difference. When you're working with your gut, you feel calm, you feel in control. When you're working with anxiety, and we've all suffered it at some point, so it's nothing, it's not something we should label ourselves with either. But if it's anxiety, things seem more escalated, they seem more out of control, they seem to me more highly charged. That's the advice I'd give you, Stace. And if you're doubting yourself with people in situations, and I mean, I know you've been studying really hard to work in your mediumship yourself, and you did your counselling and everything else. If you're starting to question some of the stuff you're doing, that's quite natural. We all do it. And again, if things are not right in our personal lives, we will do it more. That's why I said we don't work with others if we're not in a good headspace. If you're doing that, that's natural. But if it's taken over to the point that you're stepping back from that, you need to do some maybe breathing exercises, some meditation exercises, anything that can try and calm you down to get you back in the right headspace, and then return back to any of your spiritual work when you know you're in a better place. If it's people and personal life in general, again, I would say it's a case of the anxiety has overrode everything, and things may seem more out of context than they truly are. The situations are not as bad as you probably think they are. You've just said you don't feel in control at all. So that shows it's emotions and it shows it's anxiety. I've just picked for you number 1, love begins. And as I said earlier, all the cards have a cycle. Obviously, these are my psychic oracle deck. This is you all know I use these ones on this show. They're not my tarot cards, but they all have numbers. Everything's got a number to it. Number 1 means starting again. That doesn't mean go back to square one and start with your mediumship and your spiritual growth again. It just means sometimes going back to basics doesn't hurt any of us. We all have days where we go back to basics. We all have days where we go back and just do little things around our spiritual stuff, because it recharges us and it makes us be more aware of the journey, how far we have come. So I would say you definitely need to have some breathing time, some meditation, and some clear headspace. It does feel like an override button, yeah. sometimes as well, I mean, what have I been hosting on this show now, Richard? 2 years? Over 2 years. So obviously I know when I first came on here and said I would never do it, and there I was doing it, and now I do what, 2 shows, sometimes 3. Can't get rid of me. Back on Sunday for the Sunday sofa. I see. It always falls in. I sometimes it is you do all these things, and it does massively make you feel like you've had an overload because you've learnt so much in such a short space of time. And I know back then you were a viewer, you were watching everything, you were intrigued by everything, you wanted to learn about things. I know you had some background, I think, with your mum and church, a spiritual church, but you've come so far in 2 years of learning so much. But sometimes, and I'm not saying this to anyone that obviously teaches on SBTV as well, but sometimes we can learn too much in too short a space, and we want to try and learn everything because we think we need to know everything about our spiritual path. But some things we're not meant to know, some things we haven't got time to learn, and they won't be relevant to the path we're on now. We just need to feel comfortable with what we can do. There's no ego trip in this work. It's got to be about what is comfortable with you, what makes you feel whole as a person, and what makes you then want to work with others. And it can be small things, it doesn't have to be big things. So if you feel like an override button is hit, I would say go back to basics. And love begins for me. There's the rainbow in the background, you've got the water underneath. We all know water's about emotion, so it does show there's been there's been a little bit of emotional upset. There's been there's things that have drained you emotionally and made you off balance. The water needs to come back flowing in a balanced way. There's lots of things to be positive about. There's lots of green around that love of that card. So for me, it's going back to basics. Number one is showing me go back to basics, take things slowly. You have not forgot what you can do. You just need to step back because it's got clouded with personal judgment. And I think that's what's happened with you, Stace. You, like I said, you do need to separate them. But when you are on a better place on your spiritual path, your day-to-day life can also fall into place. When you're not in a good place on your day-to-day life, your spiritual path will suffer because you cannot work spiritually if you're not in the right headspace. So I hope that helps, Stace. And just remember, number one just means you're not going backwards, you're just you're going back to recharge. You cannot forget what you've already learned. So I hope that helps. Okay, it's not. Oh yeah, the voting. So if you, oh my, Mr. P. So you all know, finally, after months of preparation, the voting went live. The awards have gone live for people to sign up and be a candidate, for people to vote. Yeah, I signed up. I ticked every box going, even the mediumship one. No, I didn't because I'm not a live medium. It's not about ego. That for sure is not about ego, because I wouldn't even be surprised if no one voted for me. Mind you, if there's a box just for psychic counsellor, no one else can have it. But it's about acknowledging the spiritual world. It's anyone can vote, anyone can be a candidate, anyone. That doesn't mean anything to do with SPTV. That can be the Sally Morgans of the world, Gordon Smith. I'm not very afraid with all these people that have got big names. Anyone can sign up and be a candidate. So yes, there's some very well-known mediums and psychic workers out there, and yes, there's some very down-to-earth basic ones that are backstreet ones like me. It doesn't matter what level you are and who knows you and who doesn't. It is to help promote the spiritual growth, to get people to acknowledge spiritual work, and also to acknowledge SPTV. Richard has worked so hard behind the scenes. I always go on about it, to get this channel up and running. We have helped so many people over the last couple of years. We have, brought people out of themselves while we were in a horrendous lockdown. We have helped people that have lived alone and have suffered because they've got housebound or for any other reason can't get out. So it isn't just for ego, and it's not so someone can walk away with a nice trophy and go, look at me, I won. It is to show there isn't a trophy and there's no money to be won. So there you go. It is to open up the spiritual world. It is to open up and promote the spiritual world and the work we do. So please, please, please do vote if you want to vote. If that sits within your, that you feel comfortable doing that, please do it. But at no way, shape or form, I think I can speak for all us hosts on SPTV anyway. We are privileged to be the candidates. We're not going to get upset if you don't vote for us. We are doing it to help the world of spirit, the spirit. And it doesn't have to be, you don't even have to be an SPTV. I've sent it to all my friends. I said, vote, go and vote for me. I haven't really, I forgot. That's how much I take it seriously. I forgot I'd even signed up as a candidate. But yeah, that is what it is. So it is not an ego trip. It is literally something else that Richard has worked behind the scenes to open up our spiritual world to more people and to get us, people out there to see that we come here, go wherever you want to go, but come and talk to people. We are not the people some people have thought we are. We're not to be hidden away or put in dark corners. So yeah, please do, if you can, vote and go and have a look at our lovely website as well and all the stuff that Richard's built on there as well. And are we all excited? Because it's getting nearer and nearer, Mr. P, to our spiritual weekend. What is it? 6-7 weeks away, I think, this weekend. You lovely people get to meet some of us in the flesh. Yeah. Never mind. You'll get over it. So, go on then. Yeah. All right then. So, lovely Patricia. Patricia, okay. Patricia, I'm worried about one of my sons. He doesn't want to be here. It's a worry every day. Will he sort himself out? Oh, Patricia. Yeah, Patricia, as a mum, I can totally see and feel. Actually, as I'm reading that, I feel quite tingly just reading it. I can relate to you. I can relate to how you feel, and I can also relate to the question you've asked. And like I said, sometimes people think that when we work as psychics and that we just, nothing phases us and that our lives must be perfect. Our lives are far from perfect. We have probably had more traumas and upsets and challenges thrown at us on a daily basis. That's how we can work with others, because we have such an understanding one way or the other into so many different things. I totally feel for how you would be feeling worrying about your son. I don't know how old. I've just got the figure 18. I don't know if that's relevant to his age. But I've also got 27. If you've got more than one son, you must have, because you've put sons there. I've got a 27 and an 18-year-old. If you can let us know if that's making any sense. And also, I've just got number one for you. We've got a lot of number ones coming out. I've got triumph. I can't get my words out now. Triumphant success. This is, again, a number one, back to the start, starting again. Swords are recognised as our mental well-being. They can be people that are very articulate with their minds, very creative with their minds, can be writers, can be reporters, anything that they use in their mind and thinking about. They can be quite philosophical, can't get my words out, you know what I mean. He's not even going to go down that route. But swords can also show depression, anxiety, as we talked earlier with Stace, and also mental well-being. 41, 27 and 18. Interesting. There's still some relevance around 27 and 18. 35. You're not helping me, Patricia. I don't know if something happened at those two specific dates. They're either dates or they're years of when they were. There's some relevance to that. That's quite strong. I can't take that back. So I'm not going to force it on you. Just make a note of it. 18, 27. They're either dates or they are the age they were at times something in their life happened. Okay. but I can't take that back. That's very strong. It is so hard when people say they don't want to be here. There is nothing, even as a mum, that we can do to make them feel better, to try and, as people say all the time, snap them out of it. You can't snap someone out of something like that. We can encourage, we can support, we can offer support, we can encourage them to go to places to get that help. But again, what goes on in someone's mind, what goes on in their thoughts is theirs. We can't change it or help it. And as mums, even as dads, as any parent, it is so frustrating because we feel that we are duty bound, whatever age they are, to protect them and help them, and we can't do it. I do know how you feel. I have 2 sons and a daughter. Both my sons have struggled at times. It is so hard, and life is never easy, and you never know how to do that. The only thing I would say with this triumphant success is the way that sword's coming out the ground, the hand going up. When the sword's going up, it's a positive. I do feel there is something positive around the corner, but it's something that your son has to grasp onto. The sense I'm getting is that he needs to find something. There is something that's going to pull him out of it, and it's not. I don't even feel this does feel that it's something that's been going on for a long time, and that's why I want to know if those dates mean anything, or that age, because I do feel he struggled for a long time. I don't know if he takes medication, Patricia, or he's been offered medication but refused it, because I do feel that a lot of it's come from not accepting help when it was there, and now he's got into a bit of a sort of a situation where he doesn't really know which way to go. I used to say to a friend of mine that if someone's saying they don't want to be here, it's more positive that they're saying it. It's when they don't say it that people tend to go and take their lives and stuff like that. So when they're saying it and talking about it, at least it's being said out loud. It's not being hidden away. Where I work on my day job, we get a lot of patients because it's acute medicine that are unwell for one reason or another, not just medically. And again, as a mother, to watch so many youngsters now coming through the doors with so many different problems, it is soul destroying. It is so upsetting. But it is nothing. No one is responsible for that. In fact, the only thing I would say is responsible for that now is our world, what's going on in our world, and not just what's gone on in the last 2 years. Our world has become too materialistic. There's been too much pressure put on youngsters. My youngest is 20. He says that social media is a destroyer of how people's minds are. And from my eldest is 33. So from a 33 to a 20-year-old, I've seen how that's changed, how mobile phones have changed, how these digital Xboxes that used to be Mega Drive, everything's changed, and I've seen that happen, having such a big gap with my children. So there is a lot of pressure on people now, and it's frustrating as parents because we can't stop it, because it's what our material world has put in place. I wish I could give you total comfort and say he will come through this. I think he's got quite a long journey ahead, but the positive of the sword going up makes me feel he can come through this. He's just got to want to do this. 40, lots of people at 40 have had they've lived a lot. I mean, 40, I've been married twice by then. I'd had 3 children. I think 41 actually, which is what he is. I was having my first grandchild, which was a little bit of a shock for me, I can tell you. You think they're men and you think they're grown up and you think that they've had so much of a life already, but sometimes their life has just not been how they probably assumed it would be. And I think the pressures of everyday world, and like Stacey mentioned earlier, of anxiety and people talking about their twin flames and their soulmates. We even in the spiritual world, there's so much expectation put on people of what we should have and what we need in this world, and actually all we need is to love ourselves. And unfortunately, when people are feeling that low, they've lost self-respect for themselves, and they've lost love. They don't feel loved, or they feel they're not worthy of love. And it doesn't matter how much you try and wrap someone up and try and give them that love, it's not going to help them, because they've got to learn it. They've got to bring it from outside themselves and make themselves feel better. So, Patricia, I will send lots of healing to you and your son. Like I said, I'm going through quite a similar situation at the moment. I've had a similar situation a couple of years ago with one of my children as well. There's pressures put on their lives now that it's so hard as a mother that we want to help them, and sometimes all we can do is listen. So I will send lots and lots of healing out to you both, to all your family, and truly hope that he can get through this and see that there is a life here worth living. There is a life for him to enjoy. And for anyone else, and we do sometimes end on this way, but then psychic counsellor is okay, don't, is, for anyone else though that is watching and has felt like states of anxiety, or anyone that's felt just, and it is a horrible month, January anyway, please be aware, we have to make our own destiny to a degree. We have to make our own life path. We have to enjoy it. We have to not keep feeling that half empty feeling. We've got to try and always see our glass half full. If we can't love ourselves and respect ourselves, we're not going to expect anyone else to do it. But Patricia, I will send out lots of healing to you, and when I do my next healing thing, I will be sending that out. Okay. Lisa, Jane, I've gotten very bitter lately, dealing with mental illness and taking a verbal beating daily. How do I detach that part of me? It's not good to feel this way. No, it's not, Lisa, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, mental illness, it's still has such a stigma. It should have a stigma. It's put across everywhere now, but obviously this COVID has put mental illness right up there. I mean, like I said, in work, I'm seeing mental illness at levels I never even dreamed I would see. Even in my own work, when I do my psychic counselling, when I do my healing, I've had mental, patients with mental well-being that need to be addressed, but I've never witnessed what I've been witnessing working in a major hospital and seeing all ages suffering with their mental illness, and it is so upsetting. There is not enough funding out there, and there's not enough help out there, and it just frustrates me. And so a lot of people do turn to spiritual work or conventional work or anything that they can try and get additional help with. Words I needed today, Jane. Oh, thank you, Lisa. So it is hard. And when we go down that path, and as I said before, when I was quite open when I did that chat on mental health, I never in a million years thought I was the sort of person that would go down so low, but I did after I broke my leg. And yeah, people thought, oh, I've only broke my leg, but I didn't. It was a massive injury. It's affected me physically. I'm having it reoperated on. That's how bad it is. It's still got a problem. So I'm going back under the knife this year to have it reoperated on. It affected my mental well-being massively, which then affected my children, my mum, people around me. Friends were treating me badly, not all of them, a couple, but that affected my mental wellness badly, and they were blaming me, and it wasn't, was it me? Maybe it was me. When we are unwell, we question everything, we blame everything, and then we get angry and we get bitter, Lisa, and that's where that sort of bitterness and anger comes from. But you know what? When we are feeling like that, we are not in the right headspace. As I said earlier, we are not looking after ourselves. Our emotions have come out of line. Our emotions are erratic, and we need to calm it back down, and we need to try and get back into that space. It can't always be done with meditation, breathing, or just listening to people. Sometimes we have to use the conventional way and take medication, and there is no stigma to that either. We need support. Although I do psychic counselling, I did train as a counsellor many, many moons ago. I never completed it due to problems with my children then. So, that's why the psychic counselling was second best to me. That is what I like doing, helping people. But sometimes we have to do whatever we can to help ourselves and get that help wherever we can to get our well-being back on track. And bitterness comes with, like anything, when there's a death and you grieve, there's the angry stage, there's the sad stage, and there's a bitter stage. They're all emotions our body has to deal with. So it's no different when we are mentally unwell as well. We are still dealing with all those stages. We've just got to get ourselves back in check the best way for us, and no one can do it at the same time. Everyone's step at doing it is different. There is no time span how one person can do it to another. But when you acknowledge it, when you know, like you've said, Lisa, that you felt bitter, then we know that we're not right. And that's what I did. I knew that I wasn't right. I knew that I was going down, apart from doing my shows and working, no one see me. I didn't want to go out in public. I didn't want to really be seen. So I knew I was doing it, but I kept focused on my work here. And I remember actually pretty much begging Richard so that I could come back and do my show. I always think now, if I'd never come back and done my show when I did, I would probably have never come back on the screen again. So I pushed myself, even when I knew I couldn't get myself back up and do it. I kept doing it. And, you know, when we acknowledge it, we're dealing with it, whether we believe it or not. So if you feel bitter at times, be bitter, Lisa, but don't let it take you out of control. Don't let it take you over on a long-term basis. Just quickly, I've got your number 5, conflict and defeat. This card always reminds me of someone that's going down that slope. They're going down the stairs, they're not going up. Conflict and defeat is literally like the conflict is in our head, where we're conflicting with how we're feeling, what we're doing. Is it on the screen, Mr. P? Yeah. It's how we even talk to ourselves. We over question everything in our head, what we think, even what we're going to eat. Everything's a question. So our conflicts with ourselves in our brain, our head is literally having its own battle. And then the defeat is when we think we cannot do it no more and we give in. We're not giving in. You're not giving in because you're on here tonight. No one, Patricia's come on tonight and said that. Like I said, it is a live forum. People can see this. We're not giving in. We're just opening up a little bit and letting a little bit of that wound out so that we can heal. Because I'm a great believer, if we talk about it, if we open up and talk about it, and it doesn't have to be, it could be to a complete stranger at a bus stop. As long as we talk about it, we are heading the right way. If we retreat and don't talk to anyone, then we're going the wrong way. So all the time that people are coming on here and asking these questions, and all the time people are coming on here, full stop, even if they're just watching and listening to other people's questions and answers, you are not defeated. You are not in conflict. You are headed in the right way. So I hope that helps, Lisa. Don't beat yourself up about how you feel. No one, I don't think there's anyone, and no one that's watching today, and probably not even Mr. P, that have not had times when we have just felt, what's the point? But the point is we're still here and we're still getting up and we're still fighting it and we're still dealing with it. But that's what we're all about here, to talk. So I hope that helps. So, Mr. P, are we finished for the night? We are. So, my lovely people, we always end up on a serious one, but do you know what? I don't mind. When you watch me on the Sunday Sofa, you see a totally different show, and that is what the Sunday Sofa is about. This show is for this, and I know lots of people come on SBTV and they want readings and they want to know their future. I do get that. Of course, I get that. I do it on a day-to-day basis in my job. But the psychic counselling, the reason we put it on is because of the work I do in my psychic counselling and the drop-in centre that I used to run before we went into the original lockdown. It is to help people. It is to open people's mindsets up. It's for people to just come and feel somewhere safe. We can't do it on a premises no more, so we do it this way on the show. So we are a little bit more serious at times, but we do it because we think there's a lot of people out there that need it. If you want to see the fun side of me, I do that with Polly on the Sunday Sofa, and we are back because we have had a long time off, me and Polly. We'll be back Sunday for the Sunday Sofa. We are rescheduling, aren't we, Mr. P, our late show. Unfortunately, lovely Polly wasn't very well, and I didn't think it was right to go ahead without her. I said to Richard, although you could have still had me and Kate, the whole point was having Polly, me and Kate. So I didn't think, me and Kate can wait. We will do it when Polly's better, which she is a little bit better. So we will reschedule that. I'm sure soon there will be more lives. Mind you, we will see, because obviously I'll play up when we do the Sense and Spirit ones. And obviously very soon we will all be in the lovely Spirit weekend. So please, people, stay positive, keep talking. Don't take don't go off tonight and go feeling in that dark place, try and find something positive. I always say to people, find one small thing that makes you smile every day. If you can do that, it mounts up and things do get better. They truly do. Okay. Thank you, Amy. Thank you for a lovely evening. It does feel like I've been gone ages, but I have only been gone my usual 4 weeks. It's just Christmas was like ages ago, wasn't it? So take care. See you all on Sunday, I hope. At 4 o'clock, we will be there. And see you soon. Much love. Bye.
Spiritual Psychics TV. Online. Spiritual Psychics TV isn't just an online broadcasting service. We also offer many features via our website. SPTV offers a unique directory that uses geolocation to find your nearest reader or venue, just by using your postcode. The Academy section allows anyone to upload and create their own spiritual courses within minutes. For those who like to read, then our online magazine area will offer just that. The SPTV shop enables anyone to start their online shop, be it to sell used or new items. You can also find our schedule and information about our shows.
Spiritual Psychics TV, bringing spiritual people together.